Sam Roberts at Goldington Road on a Friday morning ahead of a British and Irish Cup weekend. Managed to catch a word with Mike Raya. Mike, first things first, let's talk about the fact that we've managed to come through 22 games, home and away, and we've had some, what I view as a really good result, finishing second, as it were, in that league. You must have been pleased. You must have sort of set out as that really being the ultimate achievement, and you've done it.
Well, I think, if I'm honest, we probably overachieved again. It was, a tough schedule ahead of us from August, and we knew we had some difficult games. We came through our notoriously bad period in November with flying colours, albeit the games were at home. We had a few sticky patches along the way, but just to have lost 5 games, I think, is a remarkable achievement for a part-time squad. But it says a lot about the guys we got here and the management, really. It's a collective, and everyone's bought into it so far. But, we understand we haven't achieved anything yet. We've got to kick on now, and obviously, with a bit of luck, the management that we've done with the players through the course of the season will hopefully enable us to kick on and achieve a semi-final spot which has to be our major goal now.
We take 3 points into the playoffs, as it were. Does that mean that these 3 home games that we get are huge? I mean, I know they'd be big anyway, but they are absolutely massive, and it would be great to have as many people down here at Goldington Road as possible. Yeah,
definitely. And last year was we're going to have to look at last year, if you like, to see that was true. But also the Heineken Cup is exactly the same format as well, and we only look at that, and home games are huge. The crowd have been great so far this season. We want them to come in their droves, really, for these games, because it could give us the edge, as you say, carrying 3 points through. And then hopefully we got some tough away trips. I mean, we lost at Rotherham, and it was a real battle. We had to go to the wire at Donny, and I think they're dark horses. I think they'll fancy themselves.
I was going to say, your old friend Lynn Howes has almost got a swan song as well, which is always a dangerous proposition.
Yeah, and Lynn's really adept at preparing sides for big occasions, and they're playing some good football as well. Scoring a lot of tries. And obviously we've got Cornish Pirates, who are our old foes, really, so everyone's looking at us too, but I think there'll be a few twists and turns along the way. Let's not forget Exeter lost their first game away in their playoff pool last year up in Nottingham, I think it was. So, yes, it's going to be tough, but look, it's exciting, and obviously, we've got the small mat of the British Irish Cup in between, which we're all enjoying at the moment.
To this weekend, Moseley winning on Wednesday against Ulster makes it all to play for. Doesn't a strange sort of way? Does that make it easier, the fact that both teams have got something big to play for?
Yeah, I think you're right. We were all sort of waiting around for the result on Wednesday. When it came through, we kind of knew our fate, and I think it's turned it into a real mouth-watering tie now. I think Moseley will fancy themselves. They've got a great record in cup competitions of recent years, and in particular this year, I think their results have been stand out really in this competition, and they'll have nothing to lose coming here. I think the pressure's on us a little bit because we're at the home side and everyone's expecting us to win, but we've been used to that. We've got a good record at Golden Road this year, and we want to continue that. Obviously, off the back of last week's performance, it was slightly disappointing last week, so there's a few shots gone across the bow to the players, but they recognise that. I think they knew we didn't have to tell them too much. But the standards we've set, and we expect a better performance tomorrow.
You've got a few injuries sort of looming, but it does seem as though things are getting better.
Yeah, look, Sash is out tomorrow, and Ollie Dodge, but Ed Thrower's back, and we slot Pritch onto the wing, and Sash is out as well. But we probably could have played them at a push, but they're not 100%, and I don't want to aggravate any injuries now. But look, Ben Lewitt's coming back from injury, so we're able to put him in, and Gregor was on the bench last week, so he comes into the back row. So it's kind of worked out quite well, and we're able to rest a guy like Brendan as well, who's had a few too many bumps on the head, to be honest. He's been struggling with a jaw injury, and he took about 10 stitches in his head last week. So we just want to get him right, because he's important to us. He's one of our strike players. But obviously with Tommy Bedford coming on and doing so well last week, it's easy to slot him in there. So we're not in bad shape. We've got to keep our fingers crossed, and before long Duncan will be back within 2 weeks, and Phil Bolton a bit after that. So yeah, with a bit of luck, we'll have a full squad to pick from, and even by the end of the playoff stages, we should have Jackson Ray back and possibly George Cruz as well.
Off the field this week, a couple of pleasing points, two very strong potential players, one that's already starting to show his potential in a great way and one just starting to surface at the moment, putting their pen to paper, and 2-year contracts for Darryl Vienendahl and Josh Bassett. You must be pleased with those two.
Yeah, delighted with Darryl first and foremost. He's really stood out for us, and certainly in the early part of the season. You know, he struggled a wee bit last week after injury. He was a little bit rusty, but the potential is huge, and he's working with Nick, doing some good things with him. You know, both him and Chudley going head to head. We got two really young, bright scrum halves who, you know, I think got big futures ahead of them. But it's important that they do the bits and pieces on a weekly basis at this level, at this moment in time. I think you know, they'll certainly benefit from. Josh just keeps growing. He's made a massive impression on us as coaches, and to a point, you know, we hadn't really finalised our selection, but the way he trained on Tuesday, we couldn't not put him on the bench for tomorrow, and he's impressed us that much. And he's got huge scope to grow, both physically and from a skill development point of view as well. But he hits great lines, he runs hard, he's very approachable, very down to earth, and you know, he picks up the moves and the plays quickly. You know, for a kid who hadn't played rugby pretty much seriously till 16, I think he's coming on leaps and bounds, and you know, I'm excited about that, and hopefully the rest of the Colts and the academy lads can see that and see there's a pathway into the first team squad, and they'll pick up the mantle, and we'll get a couple more through by the end of the season. You know, pre-season and by the start of next season.
The obvious question, of course, is that as soon as some start to put pens to paper, you start to look around and think about other ones. I mean, I'm assuming that there are many sort of irons in the fire as far as that's concerned. Yeah,
look, the wheels are in motion. You know, we're starting to talk to agents.
I bet you enjoy that, don't you?
Yeah, well, I'll leave that to Ben Whetstone. But no, look, we're starting to talk to the lads and the agents. But, you know, we're still not quite sure what the budget's going to be next year. I think Jeff's busy in with the RFU, finding out what the figures are going to be for next year and the funding. So yeah, we're ticking things over, and we hope to get a few done. You know, certainly by the end of March if we can. Don't really want to drag it on any longer. But look, again, we've got no appetite for change. You know, if the lads we want to keep want to stay, then that's great, and I'm hoping the bulk will want to do that. But we're not complacent about that. Obviously, things, you know, everything's got to be good for both sides. You know, but we always back ourselves. You know, if we can't compete financially, fine. But you know, on rugby terms, we feel we're up there, and the facilities we can offer, the actual whole Golden Road experience, I think, is a positive one. And you know, we've always stated that we only ever want people who want to be here. So, you know, money in a sense, I leave that to Jeff and people to sort out. But we deal with the rugby side of things, and if people want to come here, they come here for the right reasons. We're never going to be millionaires playing for Bedford, but they'll have a great time doing it.
Last word to this weekend. Cup match, cup fever, always a special atmosphere there.
Yeah, and I'm hoping a good crowd are going to turn up. I think, you know, the weather's a bit dodgy overnight, but for 3 o'clock tomorrow it's going to be looking good. So, the pitch is in great nick. So hopefully we get a decent game of rugby, and you know, we get a positive game of rugby. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be tight. I think Moseley will come here with a big attitude, and we just may need that extra person through the turnstile to you know, shout that extra couple of points over for us.
Excellent. Enjoy it. Cheers, Mike.
Thanks, Sam.